and that the upgrade of the regulatory body also increased the admission capacity of the college. The intelligence squad has uncovered a massive illegal oil refining site at a forest in Odagwa community in a Che local government area of Rivers State. The site comprises over 10 illegal refineries with an estimated 500,000 liters of crude oil contained in about 50 illegally constructed reservoirs, while 5 suspects engaging in the illicit acts were arrested. The spokesman for the NSCDC River State Command, Olufemi Ayodele, who disclosed this while parading the suspects, said that the discovery was based on credible. Commandant General of the NSCDC, Dr. Ahmad Aoudi, had reiterated over time that all acts of economic sabotage will be fought to a standstill, as suspects arrested will face the full route of the law irrespective of their sponsors. Commandant General also gave a marching order to the Special Intelligence Squad, charging them to be more thorough and result-oriented in their operations. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, or watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Moving on, analysts decry the increasing rate of product adulteration, especially edible items across the country, that are posing severe health dangers and mortality rates, while describing it as a gross offense before the law, irrespective of persons or groups involved in the act. The analysts emphasize on the need for relevant agencies and authorities to ensure that the appropriate punishment is meted out for future deterrence, and urge the Nigerian public, especially youths, to desist from unverified consumption of sachet brews. Speaking on Atlantic Society Watch, Dordum Yakor, a public affairs analyst, maintained that most of the consumable items in the Nigerian market are substandard and hazardous to people's health.
Of Akwa Ibom. The issue of fake products is widespread in the country. In fact, if you do a survey of what we are consuming, the products we are consuming on a daily basis, if subjected to serious acid test, some of them do not really meet the required standard.
He also said that the production of fake products is widely spread across the country and is posing enormous health risk, and urgent relevant agencies to step up their operations and investigative strategies to forestall such occurrences.
This case that happened in Akwa Ibom State is not just peculiar to this particular local government. Sometimes in 2023, in a local government called Ikot Upong, in Akwa Ibom State, a man whose name I don't want to mention here was also caught by
26 suspects arrested by the operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commissions for involvement in cyber crimes activities in Benin City, Edo State, have been handed various prison terms after they pleaded guilty to various charges filed between Friday, March the 22nd, 2024 and Tuesday, March 3rd. Gabriel Ugolo, Erabo Tangod Idahosa, Obaretin Osembruwem, Samuel, Eleba Endurance, Eleba Isamwonwen, Osakwonwem, Osayende, Eruangu, Salvation, Destiny, Osesenagu, Osefanmen, Emmanuel Osefanmen, Azuka Victory Nzel, Ehienzam Michael, Emmanuel Oladotun, Abdul Salam Enahe. Others are Cyril Nwambe Ojo, Wisdom Desmond Ojon, Samuel Joseph, Ime Joseph Etim, Imafidon Kelvin, Sylvester Gabriel, Victor Jonathan Chika, Ejike Favor Maduakaku, and Abdullahi Rahman. All the defendants pleaded guilty to their respective charges when they were read to them, prompting prosecution counsel F.A. Jabo, I.M. Elodi, I.K. Agwai, K.Y. Bello, Bala Riba, and Salihu Ahmed to pray the court to convict and sentence them accordingly. However, counsel to the defendants pleaded with the courts to temper justice with mercy, stressing that they have become remorseful for their actions. The duo of Ileba and Endurance El Sahon, Ileba backed 2 years imprisonment or a fine of 200,000 naira each, while the quartet of Idahosa, Oladotun, Ko, Michael, and Abdullahi got 2 years imprisonment or the convicts forfeit their phones, laptops, 3 Mercedes-Benz vehicles, balances in their various bank accounts, including the sum of 4,052,052 naira and 53 kobo in the account of Ileba, being instruments and proceeds of crime to the federal government of Nigeria, while Abdullahi was ordered to refund 480,000 naira to his victim. All the convicts are to undertake in writing to be of good behaviors, operations making the rounds across the country, which he described as underdeveloped compared to other advanced nations of the world. He said the 21st century political practice is far away from what is obtainable across the nation and causes a major setback to the political industry of the nation and the rule of law. Recall that in a recent communique, Segun Ajiboye, the Wale Akintenrenwa campaign organization, called on Ayedatiwa to call his supporters to order against further destruction of Akintenrenwa's billboards across the state. However, the Lucky Ayedatiwa campaign organization, Foot Soldiers, through its director of publicity, Mr. Kayode Fasua, denied the allegations, describing it as false and derailing. Speaking on Atlantic Television's Open Conversation, Ifeanyichukwu Ugochukwu, a political analyst, maintained that the Nigerian political system has a long way to meet up with the state-of-art global practice politically. Ugochukwu also stressed on the need for incumbent government to refrain from political gang-up against opposition parties using state powers while making references. A Chinese man has been sentenced to death by hanging for killing his Nigerian girlfriend, Umu Kulsum Buhari, in Kano State. Geng Kwangong, 47, was charged by the state government with culpable homicide over the death of Ms. Buhari. Mr. Kwangdong killed Mrs. Buhari, 23, at Jambalu quarters in September 2022 for allegedly refusing to marry him after allegedly exploiting him. The Kano State High Court sentenced Mr. Kwangdong to death by hanging after convicting him for the killing. Delivering judgment, Sanusi Ado Maaji held that the prosecution proved this case beyond reasonable doubt. The defendant's testimony is inconsistent. I hereby find him guilty, the judge said. However, the judge opened the window for reprieve for the condemned man, saying, I hereby recommend mercy by the Kano State Governor on behalf of the convict. The Attorney General of Kano State, Haruna Dederi, who is also the prosecuting counsel, had told the court that the convict committed the offense on the 16th of September 2022 at the Jambulo quarters, Kano. He said that on the said date, about 9 p.m., the convict stabbed the deceased with a knife in her house, situated at Jambulo quarters, Kano, for undisclosed reasons. The victim was rushed to the Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital, Kano, where she was confirmed dead by a medical doctor. The defendant had pleaded not guilty to the charge, after which the prosecution presented 6 witnesses and 4 exhibits. According to the prosecutor, the offense contravenes the provisions of Section 221, subsection B of the Penal Code. The defense counsel, Muhammad Dan Azumi, presented the defendant to defend himself and on 1 other witness and tendered 5 exhibits. Mr. Dan Azumi urged the court to recommend the defendant for prerogative of mercy under Section 313 of the ACJL. In his testimony, the convict said, "I didn't kill Kulsum intentionally, but I stabbed her in self-defense after she grabbed my testes." He pleaded with the court to temper justice with mercy in its judgment. Speaking with journalists shortly after the judgment, the victim's mother, Fatima Zubairu, expressed satisfaction with the judge's decision. Not fewer than 214,000 less privileged and vulnerable persons in Gombe State have been targeted in another round of palliative distribution of food and non-food items by the state government. The disclosure was made by the state governor, Muhammad Inuwa Yahaya, who flagged up another round of distribution of food palliatives to less privileged and vulnerable persons across the 188 polling units in the 114 wards of the 11 local governments of the state will be reached. He further said that the food items are both for distribution to both Muslims and Christians currently observing Ramadan and Lent periods. The governor explained the exercise, which demonstrates the commitment of his government to helping citizens of Gombe State during difficult times, remains an enduring attribute of his administration. Hours of electricity to the state so long as the consumers were ready to pay for it. According to him, we buy this electricity and we have to pay to be able to buy next time. He argued further that the consumers in the state were owed. Haji Abdul Malik Sakin Daji, who did not preside at yesterday's plenary, told the management of the district
illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human
on the point of order.
Honorable
You're welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. And now to the rest of our stories perpetrated by kidnappers must be treated as terrorists. The President made the declaration on Tuesday at a Ramadan dinner with members of the Federal Judiciary, led by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola. Reiterating the government's resolve to defeat banditry, President Tinubu said those who resort to kidnapping children are cowards, incapable of disaffection. We must treat them equally as terrorists in order to get rid of them. I promise you we will get rid of them, the President said at the dinner, attended by serving and retired judicial officers, including two former CJNs, Mahmoud Mohammed and Walter Onogen. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has partnered with Indians desirous of doing business in the nation's capital of 100% cooperation. The FCT minister expressed the desire for an expanded bill, gave the details and functions of the group.
We are expecting that with this project we will have to have a community of practice across the 774 local government. So the community of practice among the NYSC CD group will help us to have the CD group as a community of practice. They will have to engage with the chairman of the local government, the wife of the chairman, local government councillors, community leaders, religious leaders, and spirited members of the public, especially in the private sector, so that when they have challenges, when they go to a community and identify issues impeding on any girl child or boy child being enrolled in school, maybe for uniform, maybe for writing materials and the rest of it, they can always within themselves seek for support, funding, like a trust fund to be able to help them to address these challenges of inclusive education. So they're basically going to carry out inclusive education advocacy and then drive the enrollment from the communities and the local government. And we're going to have a commitment across the states on commitment to allocate funds for girl child education. Allocate funds for girl child education means that states will commit to funding education holistically, from basic to senior secondary, but emphasis will be placed on how to make sure that we address out-of-school children challenges. And so this will be a clear-cut commitment on the part of the state. So there will be a compact, and that the chairman of the Governors Forum with the vice chairman will represent the 36 states of the Federation, the governors, and then the entire 36 state commissioners of education will be present to commit to these projects, to support the girl child education projects, and then for us to carry out this awareness campaign.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the group, Senator Steve Ode, appreciated Nigeria Governors Forum for finding the group worthy of the responsibility given them and thereby assuring the forum of the quality service delivery.
I wish to state that this opportunity that has been given to us is to enable us drive the process so that at the end of the day, come 11th of October, we should be able to have a roadmap for the girl child education in Nigeria. Let me particularly congratulate us once again and to ensure all stakeholders, partners that are involved in this business of girl child education, that we are here and we are determined to give our best so that at the end of the day, the girl child education will be taken to the next level. For us, it is an opportunity for us to demonstrate our capacity, bring our wealth of experience to bear, and then also contribute to the development of girl child education in Nigeria.
The House of Representatives have observed with dismay the activities of some of the House Committee on Land Transport, Honorable Blessing Onu, who disclosed this during an investigative hearing in Abuja, said of vandalization of the track sleepers, which were intercepted in many parts of the country. In his response, the Managing Director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, Freeborn Ohiria, told the committee that the railway tracks were stolen from villages where they were kept safe.
You told us in camera that yes, that very soon they were going to be boarded. Willingly, you refused to board it, to have to bring money to the coffers of federal government. You allow it being stolen. I want to tell this committee, Nigerian security
next time.
Yes, ma'am.
Not to mislead the public.
Because what they moved and left in the village, people go there and start stealing them. So luckily the minister has approved that the only place they can keep them is Port Harcourt, Aba, Umuahia, and Enugu. It will be advertised in the newspaper, the volume of scraps that is available in rail for interested parties to bid. And the necessary procurement is taking place and it gets to effect before you can get. The present one was told there have not been enough scrap to sell. For people vandalizing, yes, there are a lot of vandalization taking place.
The Bayelsa State government and the widows, widowers, and the good people of Southern Niger Federal Constituency, specifically the Gbomotoro community, for the untimely demise of innocent citizens arising from the unfortunate military operations. I am aware that the Nigerian Army has a capacity to gather intelligence within a short period. The execution of such intelligence reports should be done with utmost caution to minimize collateral damage to innocent and law-abiding citizens. I say this, bearing in mind the invasion and carnage that took place in Odi, policemen, which remains fresh in our memories in Bayelsa State.